10 years ago, a group of mages gathered to seal Daganzord at the place called Balbagoa. However, it was interrupted, resulting in the death of hundreds of people, and the dragon hid himself back in the darkness. Hiiro is a young boy who also lost his parents in the Balbagoa. He was the only survivor due to his father casting a spell that resulted in Daganzord and Hiiro sharing the same scar. Because of this tragedy, Hiiro sets out on a journey to take revenge on the dragon. Hiiro trained for years under Giruu to become a swordsman. He walks around in search of a clue that can help him in his goal while calling himself a wandering swordsman. He stops in a city and meets Thomas, who's the leader of a group of street kids that live their lives by stealing from others. The same group of kids decides to steal Grand Troa, a crystal owned by a merchant named Lord Nambuko. The thief is caught and is sentenced to be executed. Hiiro decides to save the kid, but in the process, he realizes that Grand Troa is the crystal from his father's staff and demands it back. Nambuko's mage decides to attack Hiiro but fails in the process because the Daganzord reappears after 10 years. After Daganzord appears, Hiiro decides to get his revenge and attacks him, but he passes out when the dragon touches him, making him feel heartache. The guards start to attack with crossbows, but the dragon protects Hiiro and leaves. The news of the dragon's comeback travels through the whole continent, like fire. Nambuko decides to use this emerging fear in people as an excuse to increase sales of his weapons and armor. Hiiro and his friends are not welcomed anymore in any shop because they fought with Lord Nambuko. In search of a place to eat, they meet the beautiful Erin. She helps them to find a place to eat but disappears before they can finish. Hiiro, his teacher Giruu, and his loyal friend Parupa gather at Tomat's place to plan how to get the Grand Troa from Nambuko as he has already exited the town, leaving his assistant Sha Isaru behind to search for Hiiro. Hiiro is forced to train even harder for his mission, but he can't even beat slimes during his training. He meets a girl named Serato who reaches there traveling on a sand dragon. She hugs him right away and says he has a beautiful heartbeat. Serato seems to be quite weird from other human beings. She asks Hiiro to go with her, but they don't even know their names. Hiiro thinks he shouldn't get closer to her and runs away. However, Serato can sense Hiiro's location and reaches where he was hiding, saying she will be where Hiiro is. This sentence melts Hiiro's heart, and he allows Serato to stay with them. The next day, during the training, Hiiro gets attacked by a wolf and gets injured while trying to protect Serato. But she claims to fall asleep during his fight. Noticing Hiiro's wounds, Serato reveals her powers while healing him. When they head back, Hiiro notices the guards taking some men to be slaves in the mines. He tries to stop them but gets taken away. Thomas and Serato decide to sneak into the city lord's mansion and use the corrupt book records to release Hiiro. While walking through town, Serato meets Erin, who has once helped Hiiro in finding a place to eat. Erin took Serato to Healing Springs, where they met Nambuko's mage named Sarisharu and got to know each other more. Serato almost reveals her connection with Hiiro, but Erin manages to keep it a secret. Hiiro got injured during his harsh training with Giruu and is brought there too but gets in a fight with a monster again, but luckily survived with help from Giruu. Even after years of training, Hiiro hasn't mastered the swordship yet. He barely knows the basics. When Hiiro tells everyone that he decided to travel to search for Nambuko and get back the Grand Troa, Thomas wants the Grand Troa to change his and his other orphan friends' fate. Serato doesn't want to leave Hiiro's side. When departing, Hiiro's group meets Erin, who says that the springs attacked was Sarisharu's plan. She also asks to join them since she has the map to Nambuko's place. They all agree to help him, and their journey towards the mysterious land named Where Wishes Die begins. On their way, they get tracked and attacked by a bird from Nambuko again. They manage to escape and decide to camp in a forest. During the night, everyone is against it since the bird should have a nest in the forest, but Giruu explains the trees give them a terrain advantage. On the next morning, they leave the forest. When they reach a desert, they get attacked by Sarisharu with her magic golems. Hiiro recklessly attacks and gets captured. Meanwhile, Giruu is restrained. Harupa teleports along with others while Giruu and Hiiro are left behind to fight. Serato blackmails Hiiro that he should either surrender before them, or she will kill Giruu. Hiiro gets enraged, his eyes turn red, and his body fills up with a tremendous amount of power, which kills all the soldiers around him and makes Sarisharu run away. Hiiro doesn't understand it, but somehow he feels the dragon's presence. When the rest of the group returns, they find injured Giruu and unconscious Hiiro while all the soldiers lay dead around him. After healing them, they decide to continue their journey and find Nambuko on the way, who is combining the souls of innocent humans with monsters to create even stranger creatures. Nambuko's target is to profit by spreading rumors that one of the kingdoms has captured the Daganzord to make them buy more of his weapons and armors for their protection. Hiiro calls on his devilish experiments, but Nambuko doesn't take his warning seriously and arrests him instead to ask him about his relationship with the dragon. Hiiro meets Dr. Baharapa there, who asks him about Serato and reveals that the heart in Hiiro's chest is not his. He advises Hiiro to meet someone named Theo, and then he teleports him to where Serato and others were. Hiiro shares all that Dr. Baharapa said, which makes Giruu construct a hypothesis according to which there is a possibility that Hiiro's heart could have been switched with the dragon during the Balbagoa Tragedy. That's the reason why the dragon protects Hiiro and why Hiiro gets a sudden dose of devilish powers. Hiiro can't believe he owns the heart of the creature he hates the most. To kill the dragon, he has to pierce the heart beating in his own chest. After calming down a little, he thinks of another plan. He decides he will use the Grand Troa to switch back his heart and resolve this tragedy, and the journey continues again. On their way, they stop by a destroyed little village, which sends Giruu back to his childhood memories. This was the village he was born in. His father was an ogre who married a human. Giruu's parents were punished to death when overhunters attacked the village, leaving Giruu as an orphan. Luckily, while roaming around, he found Hiiro's father, who decided to pick him up. That's why he is ready to sacrifice his life to save Hiiro. Suddenly, the group is attacked by one monster. Hiiro unsuccessfully tries to use his dragon form, but Giruu is forced to kill the monster. Eren tricks Sarasaru to bring her to the Lord's castle, and she tells the Lord about Hiiro having the dragon's heart in order to get a reward in return. It reveals Eren's true nature, that she is habitual of exchanging information for other gangs. After knowing the truth, the Lord orders Sarisharu to kill Hiiro. The Hiiro's gang stops at a town to buy some weapons. Giruu tells Hiiro that Theo, the person Dr. Maharapa mentioned, was a doctor of Hiiro's father, and he should go to meet him as soon as possible. During their stay in the town, Nambuko sends another monster to kill Hiiro. It seems to have some power related to shadows as it absorbs anyone who steps into it. Haru starts getting absorbed by the shadow monster. Then, Sarisharu tries to kill Hiiro. When stabbed, he releases his dragon form again, but this time he unconsciously attacks Giruu, who was just saved by Eren. Hiiro screams in tears as he regains his conscience and notices Haru's state. When Giruu manages to wake up, he warns Hiiro that if he keeps using his dragon form, soon that time will come when the evil power will take over his body permanently and probably become a dragon. When Hiiro and Serato go to search for Giruu's medicine, Eren tells others about Lord's plans. The others also talk about Serato. They find it strange that she never eats and that she might be the reason why Nambuko always knows their location. As soon as Giruu gets better, they learn about a war that is about to start and that kids are being used as slaves in the mines. They decide to go to meet Theo, who turns out to be Serato's friend. After hearing everything, Theo agrees to help them by training Hiiro. He believes Hiiro should work on his magic abilities too. Theo's training has a unique style which can make it look stupid or pointless in others' eyes, so does in Hiiro's. Theo trains him to use an invisible blade called the Kaku Blade, which reveals Hiiro's magical strengths. Theo later asked why Giruu never let Hiiro practice magic while knowing he has no talent in swordship. He advised him to let Hiiro be independent so he can protect himself in the future. But at the same time, Hiiro's magical power can be very dangerous because it's the only reason he is able to bear the power of the dragon. He also reassures that Hiiro and Serato are a pair that should be kept together. The next day, before the group leaves, Theo tests Hiiro's powers again, which no one realizes, including Hiiro, that Theo experienced the dangerous level of magical strengths Hiiro owns. He thinks Barrow's decision to swap the dragon and Hiiro's hearts was to keep the power of both in check and to avoid them going out of control. Eren's true identity is revealed before others, and she is left behind after being considered a traitor. The further path of the journey passes through a desert where they get separated into pairs after a sandstorm. Others unite at the oasis, but Hiiro is taken away by Sarishan, who merged with her pet as Serato couldn't stop it. When Hiiro meets Nambuko, he tells Hiiro that he was the one who interrupted the sealing of Daganzord by throwing an arrow at his father. He loves destruction and chaos. He confesses that he has fallen in love with the evil powers of the Daganzord and wants to own those powers. On the other hand, the group finds Serato thanks to Eren. Serato was trying to summon a dragon to fly them into Nambuko's castle. The armies of different kingdoms gather at Balbagoa, unaware of the fact that they are going to be used in Nambuko's evil plans. Giruu and others manage to enter the mansion and meet Dr. Baharappa there. The doctor tells them that Serato is actually a doll made with the power of the dragon blood crystal. That's why she was attracted to Hiiro, who owns the dragon's heart. The doctor tells Serato to run away, otherwise, she will be used by the Lord. But she chooses to stay by Hiiro's side. Sarisharu teleports Nambuko, Hiiro, and Serato to Balbagoa, while others get stuck in the mansion. Sarisharu reveals Nambuko's plan of combining the power of the armies and all the people captured in the mansion to unite with Daganzord and become a destructive monster himself. Dr. Baharappa had escaped the mansion to save Serato. The rest of the group, with Sarisharu, managed to find a way to Balbagoa. Nambuko uses a spell to control Serato and makes her attack Hiiro, ending up awakening Hiiro's dragon form. Nambuko orders Serato to kill Hiiro, but before she could, the Daganzord appears. Nambuko starts to execute his plan to use the Grand Troa that drives a device that combines the soul of the dragon in Nambuko, making him a powerful beast. The doctor and others try to stop the flow of energy by removing the Grand Troa from the device, but it was too late. Hiiro and Serato get back to their senses, but before they could even talk, Lord attacks and kills Serato, making Hiiro burst into tears. As a reaction, Hiiro uses his sword combined with magic to attack Nambuko, which manages to separate the dragon's soul back to its original form. Nambuko ends up dead, but the dragon is still alive. Hiiro figures out that the only way to kill the dragon is to kill himself. But at the last moment, he changes plans and uses the Grand Troa and Kaku sword to pierce the dragon's chest, revealing his real heart. However, instead of switching back his heart into himself, he puts his heart in Serato's body, bringing her back to life and ending the existence of Daganzord. The Grand Troa was actually a sealing treasure that shattered after its purpose was done. The armies retreat back, and peace takes over the continent. Everyone continues back to their lives. However, Hiiro and Serato's lives have joined as Hiiro's heart is owned by Serato from now on. Watch this next video.